Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talkn Tennis, the only tennis podcast you need to be listening to if you want informed and unbiased opinions. My name is Chris. I'll be your host for this special run of episodes covering tennis down under, and I'm kicking things off by unpacking day one of the United Cup. So, who's playing, who should win, and who might already be regretting their off-season? So, we're officially back in Australian summer mode. We have the heat, the crowds, national prides, and players stepping straight into meaningful matches before the Australian Open even begins. Today's episode is all about the United Cup. And despite the name, this isn't some brand new gimmick. Mixed teams international tennis has been around for decades. Bit of a history lesson here. Before the United Cup, we had the Hopman Cup, a tournament Australians know well. The idea was the same. Men and women competing together, countries represented, and bragging rights on the line. The difference now? The United Cup runs on a much bigger scale, features deeper teams, and crucially, offers ATP and WTA ranking points, which means players actually show up and actually care. A maximum of 500 points is offered. For example, a group stage match win is worth 55 points if you beat a top 10 opponent, but it's worth 45 points for beating an 11th to 20th ranked player and decreases per ranking bracket. So that might be worth something checking out. So, while the branding's new, the concept isn't. This is team tennis with consequences, and in my opinion, it's one of the better ways to launch tennis the season before Melbourne Park opens its doors. So, let's get into it. The matchups, the pressure points, and the predictions that will absolutely be used against me tomorrow if they don't land. So, what is the United Cup? So, if you're new to it or you've watched it before but never really fully understood how it works, here's a simple version. So, the United Cup is an international mixed team tournament played right here in Australia, where countries compete using both their male and female players. Think of Davis Cup meets Billie Jean King Cup, but combined, faster, louder, way more entertaining for fans. It's not just an exhibition either. This thing counts for WTA and ATP ranking points, which means players are taking it seriously. You're seeing top-level tennis before the Australian Open even begins. So, how the format works. Each tie is played, so nation versus nation, and a tie consists of one men's singles match, one women's singles match, and one mixed doubles match. First team to win 2 matches takes the tie. The mixed doubles is often the decider, and honestly, that's where the chaos and entertainment really kicks in. Different styles, big personalities, pressure moments. Teams progress through a group stage, then into knockout rounds, all building towards the final, usually with the Australian Open bus already humming in the background. So, you're going to look now into the sort of countries and the players participating. In Group A, we have the United States, Spain, and Argentina. Group C, we have Italy, France, and Switzerland. Group E, Great Britain, Greece, and Japan. Those teams will be playing in Perth, and in Sydney, we have Group B for Canada, Belgium, China. Group D, Australia, Czechia, Norway, and Group F, Germany, Poland, and Netherlands. Last year, in 2025, our reigning champions, USA, where their headlines act were Taylor Fritz and Coco Gauff, really led the way there. So they'll be the ones to beat this year. Going through the teams, we do have some big names. From Italy, we have Caboli and Jasmine Paolini. We have the inform from France, Arthur Rendick, who'll be leading them, and Stan Wawrinka will actually be captaining and leading the Swiss as well, with Belinda Bencic by his side. In Group E, we have from Great Britain, we have Billy Harris and Emma Raducanu. Greece, Stefanos Tsitsipas and Maria Sakkari will be leading Greece. And Japan going in quite light with 4 players, 2 males, 2 females. Naomi Osaka leading the way there. Felix Auger-Aliassime will be leading Canada as well. Zizou Bergs from Belgium. For Australia will be Alex de Minaur and Maya Joint for the women. From Czechia, Jeka Menzik, hopefully he'll have a big year. Kasper Ruud from Norway. Alexander Zverev and Eva Lies will be representing Germany. I am making an early prediction that Germany might go all the way. They've been close in recent years. If Iberlis has a good run and gets into form, she might be the help that Zverev needs to get Germany all the way through. So, what we have tomorrow for January 2nd, we have Group A. We have Spain versus Argentina. And kicking things off is Muna versus BA. So, let's start with what I think is probably one of the more fascinating matchups of the time. Muna versus Baez. Baez been more consistent name over the past couple of seasons. But context matters here because this is hardcore tennis in Australia, not a slow clay court in South America or Europe. Muna is a proper grinder. He's physical, he's patient, and he's more comfortable extending rallies until things get uncomfortable for his opponent. And in a team environment like this, with crowd energy and national pride, Muna tends to lift. Baez, on the other hand, is all about rhythm, heavy topspin forehand, baseline dominance, and dictating when he gets time. I think the big question here is whether he can impose that style on a quicker surface, especially if Muna starts dragging him into long physical exchanges. Another thing I like in Muna's favour in the United Cup format, it's not just about winning a singles match, it's also about setting the tone for the tie. So Muna feels like the kind of player who embraces that responsibility. My take for this game is I think it's going to be a lot closer than the rankings suggest. If Muna can extend rallies and make this physical, I lean towards Muna in 3 tight sets. If Baez starts hot and controls tempo early, Spain could be under pressure fast. And Baez actually leads their recent encounters 1-0. So not much to go off there, off the history. But I'm going for Muna in 3 sets. Next, for the women's, for Spain versus Argentina, we have 2 up-and-comers in Buzas and Solana Sierra. So this one's really interesting contrast. Buzas Monero is a bit more established. She's been building steadily, understands tall level pressure, and tends to play pretty clean. Structured tennis. Nothing flashy, but solid across the board. Sierra is a bit more of a wild card. Still early in her career, less predictable, and sometimes that can actually work in her favour, especially in a team environment where expectations, might be a bit lower. The key here is composure. Buzas has been in these moments more often, and I think that experience matters. So my pick will be Buzas Monero in straight sets, but I wouldn't be shocked if this is tighter than expected. Group E, we have Greece versus Japan. So this is a blockbuster, proper headline match. You've got Sakkari, one of the fittest players on tour, thrives in team environments and always brings intensity. She loves representing Greece, and you can feel it wherever she plays. Then you got Osaka, multiple-time Grand Slam champion, massive serve, massive forehand, and when she's confident, she can blow matches open faster than almost anyone in women's tennis. The matchup is fascinating because it's power versus pressure. Sakkari will want this to be physical. Long rallies, lots of movement, testing Osaka's consistency and fitness. Osaka will want short points for first serve dominance and to keep Sakkari on the back foot. What tips this into must-watch territory is the mental side. Sakkari is relentless, but sometimes tight in big moments. Osaka, when she's on, she can be ice cold, but if things go wrong early, confidence can wobble. My take, if Osaka's serving well, I think she wins this. If rallies extend and Sakkari drags her into a physical battle, it swings the other way. Gun to my head, I got to say Osaka in 3, but this is absolutely a match of the day candidate. In terms of their recent history, they've played 5 times. Osaka is leading 3-2. And I believe 4 out of 5 of those have gone into a deciding set. Our last match of the day, we have Tsitsipas versus the young Japanese Mochizuku. I have probably made a meal of that one, but I'm sure my viewers will forgive me. Tsitsipas is clearly the favourite here, for obvious reasons. Higher ranked, more experienced, and generally very solid on hard courts. But what's interesting is where he's at mentally coming into the season. The United Cup is actually a great barometer for Tsitsipas. When he's engaged and switched on, he dominates matches like this. When he's flat, he can let opponents hang on around longer than what they should. Mochizuku is dangerous in spurts, but over the course of a full match, this should be Tsitsipas point for Greece. So the expectation, or my take for this, is that Tsitsipas in straight sets, but Greece will want him to be efficient and set the tone. And that's going to do it for today. Today's United Cup preview. I've given you my picks. Now I want to hear yours. You can jump on X and find me at Talkn Tennis and tell me, which match am I getting wrong? Perhaps you have some more insights that I don't. Screenshot your predictions, reply to the post, quote it. We'll read out the best ones tomorrow, and we'll see who actually knows tennis. I'll be back tomorrow with another full slate of previews, fresh matchups, and look at what actually went down today. Until then, enjoy the tennis, and we'll talk tomorrow.